Okay, listen, nothing is physical in the sense that we think of it as being physical because we approach everything in the universe with our senses. Okay, the universe is full of laws that we cannot see. And many people can argue that these laws are not physical, but they definitely have a physical effect. But it depends on your definition of physical, also. Now, when everything came into manifestation, it came into manifestation through what we refer to as the starting point, that which is not what most people refer to as physical, right? It came into manifestation through this primal essence that the universe came from. Now, that's just one aspect. The second thing we really need to understand is that all things that have a form, at least in the sense that this realm exists, right, has to be physical on some level. If you had a metaphysical knife, you could go to one of these metaphysical planes and you could take one of these objects and you could cut it in half. You absolutely could do this. These are just more subtle frequencies of matter that we have not yet picked up. Really, it's as simple as that. And anything that has a form to it is and must be in manifestation, and therefore on some level is physical. It doesn't mean it's the same caliber of physical as is on this realm, but it is physical. Now, it might not always interact with things on this frequency, but it does affect things all the time through the natural laws that exist in the universe that really should be common sense. Our technology simply cannot pick it up. Now, a lot of these imbeciles will say, but you don't have any evidence, you're making these statements, you're making these other statements, blah, 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 blah. Well, I can tell you one thing, the CERN is not a very good way of coming into contact with it, but the CERN itself is actually starting to pick up a lot of these realities, and these things are undeniable. And even if you make the argument that these CERNs are not talking about quote-unquote magical realms because you're making 1,000 assumptions about me as you're making as you're watching this right now, you're probably making who knows how many assumptions about what I'm saying. And you need to get out of your damn ignorant ass way of thinking, buddy, because it's not gonna do you any service on this channel. Whatever you heard anybody say, you can honestly fucking forget about it. You know, I don't believe in this fundamentalist crap, but I do believe that, you know, a lot of books like the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita and all these things are pointing to these more subtle realities. Okay? That very much do exist and very much do have a physical form. Now, these so-called psychic people, when they see these things, they are seeing it from a more subtle aspect of their being that we can't pick up. We cannot yet pick this stuff up. Doesn't mean that nobody ever will. Believe me, there's not thousands, not millions, not even billions, but trillions of motherfucking life forms out there, far more escalated in their evolution than we are, and they know all about this shit. Alright. They're laughing at your ignorant ass. Probably some of them are even crying because of how fucking stupid everybody is. And I'll tell you something else too, by the way. This has to do with the sentience idea, you know, this idea of a sentient God. We cannot agree on what sentient is. We can honestly, a lot of scientific people, they cannot agree that human beings are sentient. Now that might sound like it's an argument against the quote unquote idea of the philosophy of a sentient God, but it's not. It's in favor of it. Do you know why? If you can't agree we're sentient, and you also can't agree that the universe is sentient, but everybody is acting as though it's sentient, or it acts as though it's sentient, the laws in the universe act as if, quote unquote, they have a creator, there's no difference. It's really just as simple as that. We can't agree that we're sentient because of all the neurons and all this type of stuff. And we also can't agree that the universe isn't, for the same exact reason.